Very welcome back to Sunday AM. Now, love is in the air this Valentine's weekend, with many of you looking ahead to possibly extending your family.
Well, with 1 in 5 Irish couples struggling to conceive, our resident nutritionist Heather Leeson is here with some tips on how to modify your diet to optimise fertility. Morning, Heather. Can diet really affect your fertility? I thought it was going to be down to lots of different, highly complex drugs and that sort of thing.
Well, it obviously can't do everything. It depends what the problem is. But absolutely, huge amount of research now showing what a difference nutrition can make for men and women.
Really?
Now, for us ladies, we're born with the eggs that we're going to have, so you can't have more eggs with nutrition, but you can improve the environment that they're being developed in, so you can improve egg quality. And for men who used to be neglected in the fertility field, we know now that up to 40% of fertility issues are male factor, and men are making sperm all of the time, so you can improve quantity and quality.
I'm done, thank you very much. If you can tell me how to disimprove it, I'd be kind of delighted then,
It's hard because it's such an emotional thing. I mean, I had fertility issues myself, and I see people every day in clinic, and it's really hard, but you can do lots yourself with food and lifestyle to optimise your chances.
Absolutely, and I think it's really important because, whether it's fertility or it's other, maybe even diseases like cancer, I mean, people tell you all the time your diet is key and that you have to eat right in order for your body to function. You don't want to be putting diesel in the Ferrari, basically.
Exactly,
You want
exactly.
really good nutrition into your body and make it feel better. And, of course, that's a great environment for a little bambino, of course, to grow and nourish as well.
Yeah, it's important for a couple of reasons. So first of all, for the nutrients, and secondly, to be the right weight, because we know that being under or overweight actually are both problems for hormones.
Actually, that's a very good point, because I know that you'd weighed me, I think, weeks and weeks ago. I've subsequently lost weight.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
But you had mentioned to me as well that is important, that women need to just watch that if they're trying to conceive, basically.
Yeah, it makes a big difference because it affects your cycle and your hormone production.
But how overweight? Like, are we talking 2 stone, 3 stone, or 2 stone or 3 stone underweight?
In terms of BMI, you should be between 20 and 25. So you should be there or thereabouts towards your ideal weight for optimal fertility conditions.
And for men as well, I presume?
Absolutely, Being overweight for men, it can reduce your testosterone levels and actually affect sperm quality. So really important. Now, you lose weight sensibly. You don't go on some major crash diet, because you also need to be getting the right food in. So the focus, if you're losing weight for fertility, well, in general as well, should be not what you can't have, because that's all you'll think about. I can't have chocolate, but focus on the stuff that you should be eating.
So I presume in its simplest, you're talking about, healthy, unprocessed foods, but are there any particular foods that you should be taking if you're trying to become more fertile?
Well, there are particular nutrients that you think of for fertility. So we particularly think of antioxidant nutrients, because they help to protect the genetic material in our eggs and our sperm.
What is that?
That's things like vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin A, very important for protecting that genetic material. Also, zinc and selenium are antioxidants.
Okay. And if we're to break it down even further, because I know when somebody says to me vitamin A, vitamin D, I just go, what's that? And where do I find it? So if you tell us the food groups, that would be good.
So it's basic healthy eating, lots of vegetables and fruit. They're full of antioxidants that we need, and vitamins and minerals. Things like whole grains, pulses, oily fish, healthy fat. So a Mediterranean diet is really what the research is showing.
So eat like a Mediterranean fisherman, eat like an Italian fisherman.
Yeah, it's very confusing to know what to eat. Eat real food, less processed food is good. If you're stuck, we have 4 weeks of meal plans for fertility specifically. We've done with Sims Clinic. They're on our website, just to give you an idea. Also nuts and seeds.
Yeah, because you have them there.
So I mentioned zinc and selenium, really important nutrients. Again, where do you get them? You can have your daily amount of selenium in 3 or 4 Brazil nuts, and they're really important for men, for healthy sperm. We know low levels are associated with sperm issues.
I thought that was an old wives' tale, but that's actually true, isn't it?
No. And carrots have vitamin A, which is good for your eyesight, but also good.
Have you ever seen a rabbit with glasses?
Yes. Very good. The jokes are flying around this morning, I have to say. They're very good. The boys are very witty this morning. Now, you obviously, your carrots here, you have your vegetables and so on and so forth. Is organic the way to go? Because obviously it's more expensive, it's premium to do it that way. Or can you go to your local Lidl or Tesco's?
You can. I mean, I think organic is great because you're not exposing yourself to toxins and pesticides and things like that at a time where you really don't want them.
Specifically, if you're looking to conceive, might be a better option to reach for organic.
In general, but otherwise, just loads of the fruit and vegetables. It can be quite hard to get organic food, so lots of fresh fruit and vegetables, local, whatever's in season. Even frozen is okay as well, and a mixture of real food.
Heather, I suppose like a 5 or 10 minute TV editing like this is good to raise awareness of this. But if you are having fertility issues, I presume it's best not to try and go it alone.
Yeah, there's kind of a few do's and don'ts. So if you're struggling, you need to get help, and the guidelines would be under 35, 1 year, and then you go for help. If you're over 35, you give it 6 months of trying, and then you look for help, because there might be an underlying medical issue for men or women that needs to be dealt with beforehand.
When you say medical issue, I mean, would people, I know friends of mine that have looked at avenues such as acupuncture or holistic approaches. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they can be really beneficial, but they're kind of alongside, if you're having problems, and for example, if you have PCOS, which is a hormone condition women can have, you may need medication, so other stuff might not be strong enough, and you really need to understand where the problem is so you can work on it.
And on the supplements and the herbs, again, I presume too much is as bad as too little?
Well, it is. You have to be careful. So some supplements, they can be amazing. There's great fertility supporting supplements out there in general, but if you take something that might not be suitable for fertility, we know some vitamins have nutrients in them that are not good for the baby, for example, so you have to be very careful. And also with herbs, they can be very helpful. We use them all the time in clinic, but not if, for example, someone is going through IVF, because they can interact with the medication and cause problems. So you have to be careful.
Again, exercise. I know some exercise can be great for helping fertility, but particularly for men, some exercise you have to avoid.
You're looking for excuses. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Always.
Exercise, great, helps you to manage weight, helps reduce stress levels, but you need to not start training for your first triathlon just before you get pregnant.
Or cycling if you're a man.
Yeah, exactly, because of the heat.
Heats everything up.
Heat, exactly, and that can
overcooks the boys.
Can cause overcooks the boys, exactly. You have to be a little bit careful, but some exercise, don't be afraid of exercising if you're trying to get pregnant. And that 3-month period before you conceive is really important. So getting ready for it, like you prepare for any event, so you should be preparing, trying to get healthy in the run-up to conceiving.
Well, that's what they say, isn't it? You've got to put yourself first, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And you do have to be careful, and back to the supplements, about taking something that has worked for somebody else.
Well, that's, again, it's people exchanging stories, but I mean, something like folic acid is obviously a key essential, has to be there.
It has to be there, but you might read that zinc is important for fertility, which it is, but if you take high dose zinc, that actually can cause more problems than it can help if you don't need it. So you do have to be a little bit careful, and if possible, just get checked to see what you need.
It's worth the €65, exactly.
See a professional if you are having problems, and that's the best route forward.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you.